Hey folks, it's Jo here. I'm sorry for being late, not only a couple of minutes now. For some reason, my desktop will not go live. So I think I'll resort to my phone. I'm sorry for running half an hour late. I'm just going with the flow and things come up. And hey, most of you are on the other side of the world, and so you'll be watching this at a later point. Anyway, so where are we up to? We are on today our final power versus fear archetype, and as you know, I have been in full flow of just going with what unfolds and what occurs, and I have loved the spark of intuition on Friday as Lilith was released on Insight Timer to say, hey, come join Quantum Soul Alchemy if this resonates. And I've had a beautiful influx of gorgeous souls come into this space, and so it's completely pertinent that today we talk about the power archetypes of the sovereign, because at the end of the day, that is your high feminine, that is your goddess. So what do I mean by the archetypes? Well, look, there's plenty of other videos in this group to help you understand that, and by all means go back and get an overview of it. But in summary, the two that we're looking at today, which are the two feminine archetypes, we talked about the prostitute and lover last time, which is the other feminine. And in previous ones, we've talked about the saboteur and the magician, and the victim and the warrior, which are the two masculine ones. And so today we're looking at the final piece of the puzzle, if you like, as to how to define your vision, your truth, who you are. So first of all, let's explore what it means to be operating from your fear-based archetype of the child. And your child is, if you remember back to when you were a kid, you felt at times it wasn't fair that you couldn't be the grown-up and have your life your way. You were always subjugated to your parents or your caregivers, to school, to rules, to regulations. And whilst you have the freedom generally of creativity and imagination, and that was encouraged, you were still taught what you can and can't do, what you can and can't think, how you can and can't behave, and limitation. And when you step into the adult, you can either choose to take those characteristics with you and start deeming them all upon other people, or you can find your own freedom within that. And I know for you being here in this group, in this space, and watching this video, you certainly have awakened and on the path to awakening and looking for more. And that still doesn't mean that all aspects of our child has disintegrated, because there'll be times where our child does pop up from time to time in our life. And this is the energy where we're preoccupied with fairness and security. You expect a protected life. You expect somebody else to look after you, rather than you being responsible for what you're creating in your life and creating your dreams and visions to come true. As a child, it was like, oh gosh, when I'm older, I want to be the astronaut or the chef or the ballet dancer or whatever it is. You felt you couldn't do that at that time as a child. You would do that when you're an adult. It was out of your control. For many adults, they still take that remit forward. Well, I can't do it because of other people. You know, I expect other people to look after me and define who I am and what I'm doing. And so the child, you know, when it's playing out was, you know, this isn't fair. That will be the language of the child. And this isn't allowed. And, you know, I'm not allowed to do something. I don't have permission. So very permission-based. And, you know, it's putting the responsibility of creating your dreams to come true in the hands of someone else, rather than taking full ownership. And so when we're aware of how that plays out and what comes forward, we can start letting go of the need to seek permission to live our lives. And that in itself can be hugely liberating, where we stop putting that expectation on, well, I can't do because of my job, or because of my husband, or because of my children. You know, I can't do that because I need to feel safe and secure in my job, in my home, and what I'm doing. So when we start to awaken and become the observer of the energy of the child, and we learn to alchemize the energies around that, which is what I teach in one of the things that I teach in my one-to-one work with people, is, and also obviously the energetic reset within your body. As you know, that's what I've been doing for the last 5 years, is energy mastery and energy healing work from multi-dimensional places and beyond. So integrating what we need to do with our mind in with the energetic shifts in our body, back to the light grid and then back into the dark. into the dark feminine energy, because that is where the true power lies. Now, for many of you that are new in the space and Lilith resonated for you and something stirred deep inside, it's because you are having that chime of awakening back into your dark feminine energy. Perhaps you've had enough of what's been defined as moving towards the love and light, which we've all been taught through the spiritual teachers, that the light is the feminine energy. Well, it's not, actually. The sun is a masculine energy, the light is a masculine energy, and the light can be switched on and off. And it is only the eternal blackness and the darkness that exists at all time. The nothingness and the all that is, the true universe. That is where the true feminine energy lies. And it is from this energy and this space that your sovereign, your high feminine, your realm can be defined, created, and brought to life as your vision. This is the space where you feel that regal elegance of what your realm is, of how you wish your life to play out on your terms and only as you wish it to be, because you know that you are fully responsible for living your life on your terms, bringing your dreams to fruition, and will stand in that energy of bringing it forward no matter what. And you know it's your job to make those dreams come true. It is nobody else's work to do that. Absolutely finding the right people to support you and guide you and help lead the way. Absolutely. And yet it is driven by you, only you. And that's the place that it has to come from. And so you are prepared to go out there and live your dreams without any security, whether that security comes from, other people, your partner, your children, or money, or circumstances of having a job. You shatter all of those paradigms that we're so culturally conditioned to, because you are choosing to live your life your way and bringing forward goes beyond bringing forward your passion. It goes into the realm of bringing forward your genius. And the genius, your unique genius, can only reside in the dark, in the chaos, not in the stillness of light. And so that's where I help people to understand this, learn this, transmute and alchemize what needs to happen to bring those energies forward. So touching on Lilith, because I know that it's relevant for those that have been listening, I asked in that meditation, were you open to committing to alchemize all that your heart needs to transmute to find your true soul, your true voice, your true essence? And in my Goddess series, we have worked with Kali, Hecate, and now Lilith to break those shackles and the suppression of all those past lives where you were burned at the stake, where you were betrayed, but you were also the perpetrator in other lives. It's not always you were the victim to these circumstances. And for you to understand this reality in this dimension of time at the moment, that those contracts are just null and void. And so when I work with people energetically, we clear the Akashic records to just have that all just eliminated out of your field. And so by you listening to Lilith, that's the start of the activation to clear that space. So you can be free of those burdens and the shackles of the past, of the patriarchal domain in which we have been operating. And, again, in that meditation, it's like what's stirring deep in your belly, what's fueling your fire, what's within you that if it didn't eventuate in this lifetime, you would feel that you weren't fulfilled. And all of that comes on the definition of your sovereign. Because with your sovereign, you have absolute clarity of what it is that you're here for. And yes, that may evolve over time. Goodness. For somebody that's had, 9 different businesses in 15 years, and on top of 2 degrees and countless corporate jobs, I have been weaving my way down many, many, many paths over the lifetime. And yet, over the last 5 years, since I've owned my gifts and abilities and been presented with this God-given opportunity to bring this work forward at a so much deeper level now, there is absolutely nothing I am more committed to than being that global legacy leader and healer and bringing that forward. And by doing that means that I inspire others and spark others and ignite within others their own genius. And so it is that genius that I am referring to, in the Lilith's meditation activation. It's beyond just a passion for something or a nice thing to do or a hobby. It's like what is so deep within you inside. And for many women that have worn many, many masks over the years, this may be hard to identify. You don't know what it is, you don't know what you're here for, you don't know what your passion and purpose is. And let's explore that. Let's explore. And at the end of the day, defining your vision, your truth, can be done without knowing the exact thing you're meant to be doing. Because like anything, it's who you be, first and foremost. It's who you tap into. So bringing all the archetypes together, when the sovereign is very, very clear on her vision, because she knows she's totally worth, from the lover perspective, of bringing this forward, of what you're here for. You then have your masculine energies of the warrior to protect your boundaries, to keep that remit in place, and no matter what, take whatever risks are necessary to keep your vision and truth in place. And your magician energy will come through and magic up whatever it is that you choose to create. And so again, when I'm working with people one-on-one at the beginning of a 3 or 6 month program, it's getting to understand how all these aspects work, the energetics of manifestation, how your female and masculine interact, and creating that most amazing intimate relationship within yourself. That place where you're so up with self-love. You need not have anybody else in your life to create that for you. You let go of the need to be needed, want to be wanted, that so many women run because it's the cultural conditioning around that. And so that's what it means to be standing in your sovereign, your realm. And then you call in and invite in those energies you choose to play and dance with in this lifetime, in the way that you can bring that forward. So I hope that's helped put some perspective on it. And I hope that encourages you to go and watch some of the other live streams of what this is about. As always, if you have this stirring in the belly going, this is new information, this is new wisdom, this is a space I need to explore the more of, because there's something in this that I've not heard before, and it's lighting something up, then I would love for you to consider having a discovery call. And on that discovery call, I help identify really what has been holding you back, your patterns. And whilst I've been doing that under the guise of soul realms and challenges and gifts from your soul realm perspective for a many number of years, I still take that and then imprint over it what's going on in your mind to keep you held back. So if you feel ready, that you are so ready to have that breakthrough, that you crave that definition of what your sovereign's life looks like, how it would be defined, and having that, considering having that one-on-one support moving forward to do that, then by all means book in for a discovery call, and let's have a conversation about why you haven't got your life as you would ideally like it, what's really holding you back for that, because I can absolutely promise you it's a magical, magical place when you awaken to the truth of who you are. And that's what I do. I am bringing forward some new branding, and I am percolating in my coven at the moment of what needs to be brewing in my cauldron. Suffice to say that some recent work that I had done, the level I'm operating, bringing forward, and my sort of new statement of what I'm working at is bringing forward the haute couture of consciousness. Fine, high-end level for women that just want to reclaim their truth as the witch that they are, without going into that path of crushed velvet and crystals and rituals and stuff. It's like, not my space. I am an energy master. I have been for a number of years, and I know that I am ready to teach others to do the same. Those that are ready, those that have the calling. So, look, I hope that's helped explain about child versus sovereign, how you can look to expand your empire, your realm, create life your way, going beyond what's being taught out there and shattering the paradigms of transformation. So as always, I invite you to leave comments, questions, check in with me, and let's share. Until next time, ciao ciao.